Welcome to part 2 of Crashing the Boys Street Challenge, and this time we take on Hammer Throw and the swimming event. So let's get this going with Crash. And this time not a whole lot's going to be different, but there is actually different stuff we need to get at the sporting goods store. And the rocket will allow you to shoot a rocket, spikes allow you to keep your traction. Roller, you really want to stay away from that because it can roll you into sand, can roll you into water. All sorts of bad stuff. Sonic Spin is useful when you don't have a turbo controller, but I do, so I'm going to end up getting the rocket. And now for Hammer Throw Golf, what you want to do is, it's pretty much the same thing as a golf course. You have your fairway, you have your rough, you have your sand, you also have your water. Rough and sand make it more difficult to shoot the ball well, and sand, or actually water, gives you a penalty. So what you want to do is just start rotating, and then mash the B button, and then right when that thing starts turning yellow is when you throw it. And also there are a bunch of medals you can get, and crap. And that's what happens when you're hitting water. You end up taking a 2-stroke penalty. And one thing I forgot to mention is that if you hold the up or down button, you actually get to change your trajectory. If you hold up, you get to float it. If you hold down, you shoot more of a line drive. So I got about 400 yards to go. And the rocket lasts 3 shots. After that, you're down to your normal throw. Okay, so let's see how far we can get this one with our normal one. And also, you don't have to worry about overshooting anything because, as you can see here, I'm shooting this really far, but it automatically tunes it so it goes into the hole. And now we get to watch someone else do it. This time it's Washington, and this time it's Todd. And that's your only competition, and depending on what that other character does, it also depends on how well you do. So if you end up finishing ahead of that character they show, you end up winning first. And here are just some of the rewards. This is a pretty fun event. This one's a swimming event. All you gotta do is just beat the hell out of your opponent until he drowns. So we're gonna go with Crash again. And taking a quick trip to the item shop. I'm going to go with Knuckles to increase my punching power, and I'm going to go with Armor to increase my defense. And into the sporting goods store you get the Chomper, which is actually really useful. It can summon a fish that comes over and bites your opponent, instantly drains him of his oxygen. And the Gum, which allows you to hold your breath longer. Then there's the Webbing, which lets you swim faster. So I'll go with the Gum and the webbing for this one. And let's get this started. And I'm up against Todd. So you swim and you jump by pressing A, and then afterwards you can hit by pressing B. So what you want to do is keep this guy in the water for a long time, so when you get there, he's at an advantage. Also, that clinch I was just in, you just get to mash the B button until either you or he runs out of oxygen. And you can grab your opponent and pull him into the water. Also, jumping on your opponent's really useful. And also, when you're not in a clinch, you can kick your opponent too. So this guy's almost done. And there are medals you can collect too. And just a little bit more to go. Let's yank him in here. A little bit more. And that's it for the first one. And that's the end of the swimming event, with me getting in first and Thornley finishing second, Washington third, Jefferson fourth, and Lincoln fifth. So I get 20 medals out of that based on the bonus too. And here's the fourth event, rooftop jumping. I hate this event because it's pretty easy to screw up and miss 3 times in a row. Now for this one, I'm not going to use Crash because I don't want him too banged up for the next event, so I'm going to go with Noise. Time in to bring in the noise, but the funk stays. It's the hell with the funk. And out of the item shop. Okay, and now a trip to the store. First thing I'm going to do is get sneakers. And this item shop is actually a little different this time. You get to retreat, which you get to go backwards. Rebound 1x, which gives you an extra try. Rebound 3x, which gives you 3 extra tries. And just a quick look at the leaderboard. How this one works is that you get to miss 3 times before you end up losing the event. What you want to do is go forward and use the pull. And sometimes you also get a unicycle, which you can jump off of by pressing A. And this one with a pull vault, it's a little tricky because you do have to get your, angle right in order to go the right distance. And one thing that's tricky about it, sometimes you go too high like that one, you don't end up going far enough. And also one thing you can do is grab onto the side of buildings, which I just did right there. It's actually pretty useful, even though you do end up taking damage. Okay, well that was a lucky one. You get 18 buildings, and depending on how far you get also affects where you end up placing. And as you can see, I'm almost done. And that's the last building. And some extra medals for me on the way. Now I get to watch our competition. And just like the hammer throw event, depending on how far your competition gets, they either finish first or second. But if they do end up getting past all the buildings, they end up finishing first instead of you, which kind of sucks. And that's 15 more gold medals for me. And now for the last event, which is fighting scene. And I'm going to call this a video because the ending actually is kind of long and I want to get this one and the ending all in one video. So join me next time as I finish off the street challenge.